Welcome back, subscribers. This is Johnny Hopper, and in today's video I'm going to show you the proper technique in braking and accelerating to make you a better rider. So braking is actually a lot more complicated than simply slamming on the brakes, stopping, turning, and then accelerating. So I'm going to break it down for you guys. I can make a 40-minute video on all the different techniques and how to set up. So this is going to be a 1,000-foot overview in a simple, concise manner so that you guys can use this out on the track and instantly become a better rider. This tutorial is aimed for more of a beginner rider so that we can build good habits and later down the road do more advanced techniques. And I will have those on my channel, so just subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, we need to understand that there's three types of brakes. There's our front brake, there's our rear brake, and then there's the engine if we're using a 4-stroke, because it's going to have engine braking. If you have a recluse clutch, a slipper clutch, you might not have engine braking, and same thing with the 2-stroke, you won't have engine braking. So I won't go in depth about engine braking, but it's important to know that you can slow down with just engine braking. So next is body positioning, and I highly recommend you watch my video on the attack position before getting to this point, because your body is going to be almost in that same attack position. It might be a little bit over exaggerated at times, because with braking, we kind of want to fight inertia. So let me just stop right there. What I mean by fighting inertia is, let's say this picture that I have right here, I'm in hard braking. So my body is back because inertia is going to want me to fly forward. And I want to be against inertia. I want to have my body extended in more of an exaggerated attack position. The faster you're going, the more exaggeration of being on the back of the bike you need to be. The slower you're going, well, obviously you don't have to exaggerate as much in braking. Next is you want to use all the brakes simultaneously. So you want to use your front brake, your rear brake, and if you're shifting down, you want to be doing that all in a singular motion. If you're a beginner rider or even more of an advanced rider, I suggest practicing using the brakes in a straight line, not leaned over in a corner. The bike is going to be the most predictable while braking in a straight line. So the next step is then just the setup, where you sit down and you have your leg out and you're ready for the corner. I will go more in depth in future tutorials on proper body positioning and sitting positioning while navigating through dry terrain, tacky terrain. I do have a video about dry terrain that you should check out, but this video is on basic braking and acceleration. So our next step is acceleration. What we want to do is we want to be on front of the motorcycle, squeezing the radiators to keep our body positioning on the front of the motorcycle. I suggest having your balls 5 or 6 inches from the gas cap. So again, I'm going to repeat myself. I really want to nail this point home, because this is the most important part of braking and accelerating, is fighting inertia. When accelerating, the forces are trying to push your body back. So we want to squeeze the motorcycle with our knees to prevent this from happening. I know, this whole concept sounds absolutely ridiculous. The whole idea of fighting against inertia, fighting against the motorcycle, but in reality, just please trust me. Try it, give it a go. I promise, I'm not giving bad advice. This will honestly make you ride longer and faster, and you're going to feel more one with the bike, because in reality, you're actually not fighting the motorcycle. Sounds weird, I know, alright, but just please trust me. Then when we've entered the straightaway or headed for the next obstacle, we can go back into that attack position. Again, with keeping ourselves tight on the motorcycle, squeezing with our knees, so that we can ultimately have relatively no pressure on our arms whatsoever, because you ride a motorcycle with your legs, not your arms. We go from accelerating, squeezing real hard with our knees, to entering the straightaway in that attack position to way far back on the bike, braking, then set up for the corner. And I recommend practicing this on your stand just so you can understand the concept before you go do some of the drills that I'm going to go over. So the best drill that I like to use is simply going in a straight line, accelerating, and then practice braking, going slow around your corner, because we're not practicing corners right now. We're just practicing accelerating and braking. We'll later add the ruts and berms and off camber, that sort of thing. Right now we're just trying to keep our variables very low and practicing on a very niche technique. I always like practicing these techniques like with a sniper rifle as opposed to a shotgun. The thing I hated seeing people is trying to get faster on the track by just doing laps after laps after laps. You have to break everything down to really become a better rider. I'd like all of you to at least start practicing by standing up. Not saying that you can't do it while sitting, but you're just adding in more variables. Is your corner smooth to where you can get away with sitting? Because if it's bumpy, you should be standing up. And if you're going fairly fast, well, you can start doing a small stoppie into a corner, which honestly, if you hit some more bumps, could end up putting you on your head. It looks kind of cool, but let's start with the basics. So once you're comfortable with that drill, now you can actually put it in a real world scenario. Braking and accelerating should be seamless. There should be no coasting in between. You're either braking or you're accelerating. So I'm going to use just this sort of uphill corner as reference. So as you can see, I've just finished my braking. What does my body position look like? If you said far back on the bike, you're correct. The next step is the setup. So I land, getting myself set up for the corner, sitting down on the front of the motorcycle, extending my leg. And once my setup is complete, I start accelerating right here at the beginning of the corner, continuing all the way through the corner. I'm not super hard on the throttle until I get to the complete apex, and this is when I start squeezing the motorcycle with my knees, keeping myself on front of the motorcycle, and then I'm moving back into that braking position.